Move out of the way.
When there's a vehicle coming, I will move out the way of the vehicle.
Vehicle coming.
Yeah, it goes up left-hand side, doesn't it?
Move out of the way now. I told you where the boundary is.
Come on, then.
Don't act like...
Welcome. In this episode, Auditor Proletariat brings us one of the boldest audits so far. He is standing right outside Peterborough Police Station. What starts as calm filming quickly turns into a mess when two sergeants rush out, trying to scare him and make him leave the area, even though there are no clear signs showing it is private. But Proletariat does not give up. He stays calm, confident, and strong on the law as more officers show up. This turns into a perfect lesson on knowing your rights and showing bad policing.
We don't mind you filming, but you need to be off.
Who are you guys? Sergeant.
Come on.
Okay.
Then walk then.
There was no need to get physical. I'm walking away. You can stop touching me now because I'm walking away. You can stop touching me now. Sergeant 1096.
That's me.
I am walking away and you're still touching me.
You're not walking away.
I am. Am I not walking? Am I not walking away?
Turn and face that way.
You're a fucking dickhead, mate. That's what you are. Off. Tell me not to swear. I can swear over you if I want to. There's no need to push me like that.
We've told you where the boundary is.
Yeah?
Get out.
And I'm walking back. Why the f*** are you pushing me like that for? You absolute bellend.
Because of your attitude.
You're a
So
bellend.
move over there.
You're a bellend.
Get off the ramp.
Move over there, please.
You're a bellend.
For emergency vehicles, get off the ramp.
There's no yellow box here saying I can't block it. You're a bellend.
Move out the way.
I'm quite capable of moving out the way of vehicles by myself.
Move out the way.
When there's a vehicle coming, I will move out the way of the vehicle.
Vehicle coming. Move.
Yeah, it goes up left-hand side, doesn't
Move
it?
out the way now.
I told you where the boundary is.
Come on, then.
Don't act like a knob.
You're the one pushing me.
Yes.
I know I'm on the pavement, and I'm on here now, and you still pushed
there,
me.
then.
You still pushed me.
Right, don't come on.
You're a bellend.
Okay.
Before even telling his name, the sergeant puts his hands on Proletariat and starts pushing him back like he is a criminal, fully ignoring the rules that say officers must talk and stay calm before using force. When Proletariat calmly says he is walking away, that should have ended everything. But instead, the sergeant keeps pushing him, crossing both a legal and professional line. And when Proletariat, clearly upset, swears out of shock, the sergeant snaps back with, "Don't act like a knob." A sergeant is meant to set a good example, not act worse. His job was to calm things down, identify himself, and act respectfully. Instead, he showed everyone what abuse of power looks like. A man using his badge as an excuse to bully.
Who's your inspector? What's your collar number there?
1096.
Yours?
1995.
I'm trying to read your collar number. You're a bellend, both of you. Sergeant's my ass. You wait till your inspector gets hold of this. Dickhead. Is there an inspector on duty at the station today?
There'll be many inspectors inside.
Yeah. Well, I've just what I believe to be assaulted by two sergeants. So if you can get an inspector out, I'd love to report that to them. I'm happy to show them the footage. There was nothing saying that it's private property, no unauthorised access or anything like that.
Of course, do you want? I'll talk plainly.
Yeah.
I won't muck
cool.
around. Okay. There are different people who audit and things like that.
Sure.
Sometimes people try and push buttons out, so I'll just speak plainly.
Yeah, that's cool. No worries.
I get there's nothing there. Yeah, we've got a simple barrier. There's no fencing there. I appreciate that. And let you know at the moment now, this is private property. I'm sure you can appreciate we do have to keep areas secure, and secure as can be. It's not very secure without a fence there, but that's
well, exactly. I mean, there's a big old footpath coming out from the grass verge there.
In fairness, I'd say you probably do know this is private property because it is a police station. Okay?
I mean, everything in the UK is private property, though, really, isn't it?
That plainclothes officer's reasoning makes no sense under the law. Just because a place looks like it belongs to the police does not automatically make it private. If there is no barrier, no fence, and no sign saying access is restricted, then by law it is treated as a public space. People have an assumed right to be there until that access is clearly taken away. And simply being outside a police station does not remove that right. The officer saying, it's private because it's a police station shows how little he understands about public responsibility. Police buildings are not castles. They are paid for by taxpayers and meant for public interaction at certain areas. Without clear signs or physical barriers, Proletariat was fully within his rights to stand there and record.
I'm not a civil lawyer and all that, so I'm not going to get that. Can't really have you around here, if don't mind, okay? It's nothing because there's not hiding anything, but ultimately it's a working yard. There are vehicles that will fly out here responding to immediate
Sure,
things.
sure. As soon as I hear blue light sirens, I'll be out of the way.
Yeah,
There's
but
no issue with
I
that.
can't have you here anyway because it is a secure area.
In the meantime, I'm waiting at the moment, so I'm going to get every single vehicle, private, personal, whatever it is, coming in and out.
That's
it's going to
fine.
be included on my footage.
But then if you could do that, could you do that from outside the private
I mean, to
property?
be fair, the sergeants actually said I was fine there. That's where they physically pushed me to. And even when I was on there, they continued to push me.
If you come, I'll show you. As far as I know, and again,
So the sergeants actually said that this sign here was the demarcation of the property, which clearly it's not, because it just says pedestrians to use front entrance, that's exit.
yeah, no, that'll obviously be for notifying people who want to come speak to us where to go.
Exactly.
Right?
So there's no demarcation. That's not demarcation of your boundary.
What I was going to say is normally I use the tree line. Okay, there is no physical line. There is no it's that imaginary line. There is going to be a line somewhere which denotes the property boundary. If the sergeant has said it here, I'm not going to argue. I'd naturally say I think the tree line forms a kind of a natural barrier.
Now when you look at the sign, it fully shows how wrong the sergeant was from the beginning. It does not say no public access or restricted area. It only tells pedestrians to use the front entrance. That is advice, not a legal rule. The sergeant treated it like a no entry command, when in reality nothing on that sign takes away the public's right to be there. This proves proletariat was standing in a public space, and the sergeant had no legal power to touch him or push him back. If police want an area to be off limits, the signs must clearly say so and be supported by law or local rules.
But then fine,
really.
if the sergeant says that, I'm not going to argue.
But then the sergeant also saw me stood there on the very corner of the thing and said nothing either about it me being there. He was literally watching me from the window for a good 5 minutes.
Do you know the sergeant's name?
1096 and 1995 were their collar numbers.
Were they a response sergeant?
They came out of that building up there, whatever it is up there.
If you don't mind, if you just stay here with my colleague, I'm going to go and speak to the sergeant up there and make sure that that's correct, that he's told me where to, he's told you to stand. Yeah. Because, like I say, I normally use the tree line because it kind of makes a natural barrier. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I understand that it does create a sort of natural barrier, but unless you have these to show me where the boundary is, and there's nothing to stop me accessing, there's nothing to say where your property starts and where it ends.
No,
so there's nowhere for you to realistically say, this is our property. You can't be stand here. You can only stand here.
But let's try and work together and be reasonable. Because
I mean, at the end of the day, you are being reasonable, and I do appreciate that. But because of the behaviour of your sergeant, I'm not going to be reasonable with you.
That comment about the tree line being a barrier perfectly shows the confusion happening here. Fake boundaries enforced with real authority. The plainclothes officer is literally making up a rule on the spot, trying to turn trees into law. Things like trees or curbs mean nothing legally unless they are backed by clear signs, fences, or physical markings that show private land. Without that, the public's right to access still exists. If you cannot clearly see where your property ends, then you have no right to accuse someone of trespassing. It really is that simple. This moment showed the clear difference between real knowledge and guessing. Proletariat used facts, while the officer relied on a tree line. It was embarrassing.
And I'm not saying I'm going to be rude to you, but in terms of negotiating where I can and cannot stand, I'm not going to negotiate that with you based on their behaviour.
I understand
not
that.
on yours, and I want you to understand that.
Then, so I'm upfront and clear with you, just so I am fair with you, okay? I'm going to go and clarify that, all right? And if they've said, wherever, I will have to enforce a level of, like, if we say this is where the barrier is, I'll have to ask you to stand on the other side of that.
Okay, and if you force me to move physically to a place, I will check where your boundary is with the local council, and if you have moved me to a place that you have no right to move me physically, you will be liable for reprimand under that. I will be filing. They're already getting complaints of it, IOPC. And until you're 100% sure where your boundary is, regardless of what your sergeant says, because unless they can prove where your boundary is, you can't move somebody physically.
And
you can't.
I'm trying to be reasonable, okay? So they might know.
Just let my colleague double check and we'll come back.
I totally get your point, all right? And that's why I'm going to go and do everything I can and try and check with them, okay? I get what you're saying there, and like I say, all I'm asking is to try and be reasonable, meet each other.
And again, I'm saying it's not because of you, because you have been reasonable, but because of them, I'm not negotiating.
Just bear with me, all right? Okay.
I don't negotiate with assholes.
The plainclothes officer openly admits he does not actually know where the property line is. Still, he has already decided he will push proletariat behind it once the sergeant approves. That is not real policing. That is making things up as you go. You cannot enforce a rule that has never been clearly set. If they truly believed it was private land, they would already have clear maps, signs, and legal proof ready. Proletariat's response was perfect. He made it clear that this is not about opinions. It is about proof. The council, not the police, decides property lines and public access. If officers cannot show a legal map, sign, or order blocking entry, then it is public. End of story.
So yeah, the sergeant has said that he's told you, and he is saying like, sort of grass verge, not onto the road please, and no further past this blue sign. Is that okay?
Maybe.
Okay, on that then, right, I hear you saying maybe. At the moment, I'll leave you here, alright? Please don't do that, alright? Got no problem with you filming in public, saying that's public, okay? Got to understand that's a working yard. There's also sensitive information. There's people here, whether victims or suspects, that we can't have you going and seeing. Normal as a member of the public, that is private, okay? Please stay here, okay. Alright?
I mean, again, for you to raise with your higher-ups, I would strongly suggest you get a more physical barrier, fencing. I
100% agree, but then the police, what are they keeping out? They're putting fences up, and that's at the lovely taxpayers' expense.
I agree with fences being around these places.
But that's the truth of it. No, to be fair, I think it should, because then it denotes it, alright? But I'm now telling you, mate, so that's pretty clear. The sergeants also echoed that, so you know, yeah? So you're saying maybe, but then if you then go past that maybe, that's you willfully then
trespassing.
I get that you've had issues with them, okay? But then that's for your complaint, mate.
If the police really want to stop people from entering, they need to put up a clear physical barrier. That is how private land is marked everywhere else. It works. It is legal. And it removes confusion. The officer even agrees at first, showing he knows proletariat is right, but then quickly avoids responsibility by saying, then people will ask, what are the police hiding? That is not a reason. That is just an excuse. What this truly shows is they want both things. The power of private property without the duty of clearly marking it. They would rather use confusion to control people than take the easy step of putting up proper signs or fences.
Do me a favour, yeah? Because we were going off to do something again.
Yeah. As I was saying to your colleague,
stop and engage in
but as I was saying to your colleague, you're actually other than the sergeants, because I went to where those vehicles are over there. You're actually the first people that have actually stopped and engaged with me, and I've been stood here nearly an hour.
Then that's bad officers, because they should, okay? But look, we're busy, we're human, we make mistakes, okay? Just like everyone else. Please don't do that.
But that's why I said a sergeant accidentally killing somebody, say, people make mistakes, we're human. There's that room for error is not...
This is a conversation about someone standing on a road or a grass barrier, not me doing heart surgery. Okay?
Yeah, but the room for error isn't there in the police.
We should make errors and we should learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
As should everyone, okay? But that's just the way it is. Please don't willfully do that. If they do, then they might have to look at... I don't know anything.
There's nothing they can get me. It's a civil issue, isn't it?
Because okay, well, number one, okay, I'll just say this: wasting police time. So
I'm not wasting your time. I'm not forcing you to stop.
Hang on. Let me just say it, and then I'm going to go. All right.
When he accused proletariat of wasting police time, it showed he had no real legal ground left. So he tried to bluff. Wasting police time is a crime under Section 5, subsection 2 of the Criminal Law Act 1967. But that law is about making fake reports or lying to police on purpose, not someone calmly filming in public. Proletariat did not call the police, did not file a report, and did not block any investigation. The officers chose to get involved, which means the wasted time was their own fault. If police step into situations where no law is broken, that responsibility is on them, not on the public they promised to protect.
This is for your benefit, because I don't want to see you get arrested, and I think it probably even that then further would be a waste of our time, but we will have to take an action, alright, by doing something that causes an officer to then kind of go out of the way and waste their time doing it, and would have to engage with you and say, mate, don't stand here and have another 5, 10 minute, 15 conversation with you. That's them wasting our time, okay? So there, it's ticking those boxes. I don't think it would come to that, but it's just something we might have to do. Please just be reasonable, film the cars, whatever, alright? Just stay where you are, yeah? Please?
Maybe.
I'll leave it at that. Dude, just don't. Just be sensible.
Maybe. Can't stop with them making... Not saying.
Why?
Because I don't give it out.
Why? I'm the public, I want to watch it.
You'll find it.
I want to like and subscribe.
You'll find it.
I won't try that on.
As the officers finally went back to their vehicles, the moment said everything. Proletariat was still standing exactly where he started, calm, steady, and unbothered. What began as an effort to remove a man with a camera ended with a clear truth. They never had the authority they believed they had. This encounter perfectly showed what happens when unchecked power meets calm, informed resistance. From the very start, the sergeants came out aggressive, not with logic or professionalism, but with force. They did not stop to understand the situation or even say who they were before getting physical. Yet even while being pushed, talked down to, and insulted, Proletariat stayed calm. He exposed their lack of control in front of everyone. The real shift happened when he asked for proof. Where is the boundary? Where is the law? Where is your authority? Suddenly, their confidence disappeared. The plainclothes officers struggled to explain. The sergeants walked away. And the whole we know best attitude collapsed instantly. That is the power of lawful resistance. It does not need yelling or violence, just knowledge and calm behavior. By the end, Proletariat did more than hold his ground. He broke down their entire approach to public accountability. The officers left embarrassed, their authority undone by their own lack of understanding. It was a quiet win, but a strong one. A reminder that the strongest position you can take is knowing your rights better than those trying to take them away. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next.